everybody, I hope you're having a great day, and a special welcome to anybody watching this video from the Ladies Home Journal Gloss Daily blog. I've been doing posts pretty much like every other week there on the Gloss Daily blog. Some of them have been videos, some have been written blog posts. But that's just one more place you can go to see different content that I'm putting together, and there are tons of other awesome contributors there as well. But this video for the Gloss Daily site is appropriately about lip gloss, and there are a lot of new lines coming out in the drugstore lately. You're probably seeing displays everywhere you turn, just a new line of lip gloss from different brands. And today I thought I would just give a little roundup basically of the kinds I've tried, give you my thoughts on them, really explain how they perform, so next time you're out shopping you'll maybe know what would best meet your needs, what you should go for, or maybe what you want to skip. So the ones I'm going to be talking about are the Almay Liquid Lip Balms. I've got 4 of those that I've picked up. Also the Rimmel Show Off lip glosses. These also are, if you're from the UK, these came out as Rimmel Apocalypse, which I think is kind of a cooler name, but I have a couple of those. Those recently launched here in the States. And also I've got the new Revlon Super Lustrous line, which of course is a line that's been around for a while, but they've repackaged them and relaunched a bunch of new colors. Also throughout the video you're going to see pictures of these different colors on my lips. I think it always helps to see you know, a certain color and then see the whole face so you can see what kind of effect a certain shade has on just your complexion, your eyes, you know, everything as a whole. I think lips are totally important in that way. So we're going to start off with the Almay, and these are again the Color Plus Care Liquid Lip Balms, and these came out recently. They claim to have sheer shiny color. There are 10 shades, and these are also gluten-free, which I thought was interesting. Overall impressions on these, the scent is amazing. I love the sort of sweet vanilla scent that these have. I feel like these are the type of glosses that the anti-lip gloss girl might just go for because they're not sticky at all. They do not have a thick feel to them, and they are very sheer, and some shades are more sheer than others. Another thing you're going to notice with these is that because they don't have a lot of tackiness to the feel, they can wear off fairly quickly. I mean, I find that even if I'm doing a lot of talking or a little bit of eating, taking a drink of something, the color will transfer off fairly easily, and these don't seem to be something that really stain the lips or leave a lot of color behind even after the shine goes. So it's kind of like once it's gone, it's gone. That is something I notice about these. As far as color payoff, let's go through the shades that I have. First off, I have this shade in Blooming Balm, and I was really just attracted to this color right off the bat. I thought it looked like a gorgeous pink, and this was before I had tried these at all, and so I just thought that's the kind of color I would like to see on my lips. But this actually comes off extremely sheer on the lips, and I have a feeling if you're someone with super pigmented lips naturally, you're probably not going to be satisfied in the amount of color that these give off. But the pink shade, I mean, while it gave me a little bit of color, it just wasn't as much as I expected. And it's kind of the same story with this second shade, which is called Rosy Lipped. This was the one of the bunch that I thought looked really nude, and I was wondering, you know, would it end up looking just like that on my lips? But it just, you know, your natural lip color is going to show through quite a bit with these lighter shades. So these were the first 2 I picked up, and while I was maybe a little disappointed in the way they came off on the lips, I still was really attracted to the comfortable feel and the scent, and I just thought it was a really kind of unique thing for a lip gloss to actually feel so moisturizing. So I pursued some other shades, and I thought, well, maybe let's try some of the brighter tones in this collection. And the one I'm wearing right now on my lips is this shade called Apricot Pucker, or Apricot if you prefer. But this shade really has kind of a corally punch to it, a little bit of a reddish orange look, and I was so happy with the way this one ended up looking on my lips. I felt like I could build the color up a little bit. With the other ones, even the lighter ones, you know, I might try to build the color up more, but it wouldn't make as much of a difference. With these brighter shades, I feel like you can definitely get the color you're after. So I just thought this was gorgeous, a great summer shade. I just love it. And I also love the red tone, which is Apple a Day. So you can see, comparing the two, Apple a Day has much more of that classic red look. I feel like this shade is a fun approach to red lips because it's just so comfortable on, but you can still get that really fresh, juicy look. So of the ones I tried from the Almay Liquid Lip Balm line, I really like the brighter colors a little bit better. better. I think you're going to be more satisfied with the color payoff on those. These aren't bad. They're very natural looking, and they just kind of add a little tint of color to your lips. And for some people, that may be what you want. Okay, now the Rimmel Show Off Lip Lacquers. And these really make me think of like a melted down lipstick. Whereas, you know, we talked about some of the Almay ones being kind of sheer. These are really full on color. I have 2 shades and I feel like both of them went on equally opaque, just full coverage across the lips. And that really is the claim behind these, is that these have the rich color of a lipstick, but also a satin smooth shine is what the company says. They do have some shine on the lips, but it's not really a wet look, if you know what I mean. Another interesting thing about these is that you might notice in the doe foot applicator, there's actually like a little well there. It dips down and it holds some more product, and I found that when I applied these, I could get completely around my lips and not have to go back for any more product. And whereas I talked about some of the Almay ones being more buildable, you just don't need to go back and add more after you basically get 1 coat of this on your lips. It's all the color you need. So basically really full on color in 1 swipe. So the shades I have in this are Celestial, which is kind of a mauve-y, rosy shade. Really one of those shades I think you could feel safe wearing in a lot of different circumstances, you know, whether you're going to work and you just don't want something maybe too loud, but you still want your whole face to look kind of finished. This is nice. It had no shimmer in it. I really wanted to try 2 different finishes in this, and the other one I have is shimmery, but I just felt like this was gorgeous on the lips. I also noticed that as you wear it, once the shiny part of this wears off, I still feel like there's a decent amount of color left behind. Celestial, I think, is a gorgeous shade. The other one I have is called Out of This World. The thing that I noticed with this one was I thought it was kind of pretty when it was freshly applied. As this one wears off, as the glossiness of this kind of starts to come off of your lips a little bit, it leaves behind that frostiness even more. Like it's gonna look even more frosty as it starts to wear during the day, which I wasn't particularly a fan of. But still, I mean, I can't really knock it at all for having intense color payoff, easy to apply, 1 coat and you're good, decent staying power all around. The scent on these might be a little off-putting to some because I find that it's kind of strong, comes off as sort of a chemical or almost a plasticky scent. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I don't notice it once it's on my lips at all. Some people are very sensitive to scent though, so I wanted to just point that out. I would be interested to look into some other shades of these, particularly the ones that don't have shimmer, because I think they wear beautifully and just have a nice feel and a nice intensity of color on the lips. Finally, the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Glosses. And these have been one of my favorite kinds of glosses from the drugstore. They were packaged like this in this squared off packaging, and I loved them. I actually kind of like this packaging a little bit better than just the round tube, because I feel like a lot of things are in tubes like this. Plus, you're actually getting less product. I found this interesting because I think people might see the new ones and think, oh, bigger tubes, they're giving us more. You're actually getting less in here. And if you're ever wondering if you might be getting a little bit rooked in the amount of product department, look at the bottom and take a look at how thick the outer coating of the, the outer packaging is, and how big the actual, part containing the gloss is. There's a lot of packaging surrounding this gloss, and whereas with the old kind you're getting 0.2 fluid ounces, in these you're getting 0.13 fluid ounces. It's kind of funny with these because while super lustrous glosses obviously have not been discontinued, they have pretty much changed up almost all of the shades. And it's going to take me trying more of them to see if some have just been renamed, and if there is still some overlap with some of these older colors. That'll just take a little more time because I've only got 2 of the new ones right now. But after years of, using these and enjoying these, I wanted more shades, and now they've come out with some new different ones, so I'm not entirely upset about that. This formula as a whole I think is just my ideal for lip gloss. It's got a little more thickness to it than, say, the Almay glosses had, and I like that because I feel like that adds to the staying power a little bit. I think they're pigmented. I think they just feel good on the lips. They apply so smoothly and evenly, not at all streaky. Sometimes glosses, I feel like you put them on and just the imprint of that doe foot applicator like creates some sort of a streakiness around your lips. Not at all with these. I think they're just gorgeous. And so I have a couple and I like them both. Both of these shades. The first one is Rosy Future. And I got this because it has a little shimmer and it kind of reminds me in the texture of one that I have loved for a long time, which is called Foiled. It's definitely not as light as Foiled, but it is kind of that same look on the lips, just a little bit of pearliness. The texture is comfortable, yet just tacky enough to last for a good part of the day, up until maybe you eat a meal. You might want to reapply, but I just think these are great. The other one I have is called Fuchsia Finery. And when I saw this, I mean, I noted in the scheme of the colors, this one seemed to have quite a bit of a purpley tone to it. And I'm like, okay, I'll get out of my comfort zone. I'll try something that has more purple. But it actually shows up a little more sheer on the lips than you might expect. It's not quite full-on opaque, this color. But this is creamy. This does not have shimmer in it. Still comes off with a beautiful berry look. I will definitely wear this a lot. I found this shade to be somewhat buildable, so you can add a little bit more and get a little bit closer to this shade, but I don't think you get exactly the shade that you see here. Ultimately with these, I mean, yeah, they changed the packaging and they've given us new shades, but what I think was most important to me was that they didn't change up the formula, that I can tell. It feels just like the old Super Lustrous ones that I love so much. So that was important to me, and I'll be trying more shades, and I'll let you know if I notice any more comparisons across the two lines. I know I still saw Pink Pop in this new selection. That's a much loved shade from the original line of Super Lustrous glosses, but I'm not sure if some others might just be renamed but still be really similar to the originals, so we will see. But thank you so much for watching this review. I just wanted to give you as much information as I could about these different new glosses that you're going to be running across in the drugstore. Again, for the girl who maybe just really can't get into glosses and thinks they're all too sticky, I think you might be really pleasantly surprised with the Almay Liquid Lip Balms. They really feel moisturizing, but they're very soft and just really comfortable to wear, and I really like those brighter shades. For the girl who really likes opaque color, and that's very important when you really want to see exactly the shade that you see in the tube come off onto your lips and have pretty good staying power while it's at it. These show-off lip glosses from Rimmel are pretty nice, and I think the classic lip gloss lover, if you've been using these Revlon Super Lustrous glosses and you love that formula, you're gonna like these too. It's the same kind of formula, just some new colors to play with. So I'd love to hear what you think if you've been trying some of these new lip products from the drugstore, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to anybody drifting over to my channel from the Gloss Daily blog. I'm happy to have you, and have a great day. Bye, guys.